Alright guys, the title says it all. Today I'm going to be talking about why we receive too much loot in the Division and why that has to change. Now I do understand this is going to be a bit controversial. I would urge everyone to hear out my ideas and formulate some of your own before contributing to the feedback section. But that being said, feedback is always appreciated. Hopefully we can have a discussion in the comments below that contributes to the betterment of the game. Now I do firmly believe that there is too much loot available, but I am not saying that I don't want people to be able to acquire the loot that they want. There's a very big difference there. I do not want to make it difficult for people to get the gear that they want. I just want to eliminate the overabundance, the extravagant and ridiculous amount of trash gear that we're getting on a daily or hourly basis. I actually decided to experiment with this. I played 1 hour of Last Stand gameplay. Now there are definitely better ways in the game to get gear where you can get many more pieces per hour, and there's definitely worse ways where you get many less pieces per hour. But this is a good baseline for me. I've been playing the game mode a lot. Anybody that enjoys PvP is probably in there a lot. That's where I would assume that maybe even a majority of players are at the moment. But there was an overabundance of gear. During that 1 hour of gameplay, I actually mercy ruled the enemy team one time. I got mercy ruled myself one time. Then I played well one match, and I played bad another time. So that was, a pretty standard spread of me using a standard striker build, nothing special, hybrid striker with an LVOAC, just running around, playing a DPS style, had a little bit of skill power, and I got decent scores, and I got a lot of gear. Over the course of that 1 hour of gameplay, plus or minus a few minutes, I was able to acquire over 40 pieces of loot. And of those 40 pieces of loot, I only kept, I think, 2 guns. Everything else I sold. And not only that, my stash is actually full. So I had to go through, and my inventory is almost full as well. I had to go through and pick up multiple batches off of the ground in order to go over and then sell them at the vendor. Sorting through, finding what's what. And I consider myself to have a pretty, in-depth knowledge of game mechanics. So for me, it's very easy to look at a gun or a piece of gear and say, yes, I want this, no, I don't. For anyone that doesn't play this game as a job, pretty much, they're not going to be able to sort through that quickly. It's going to take them even more time. It's going to be even more tedious. Now, not only that, but I had to empty my Last Stand cache. With about an hour's worth of gameplay, I then had to spend a few minutes, almost 10 minutes, going through and sorting my different items before I would be even allowed to queue back into the game. And this is because the stash space and the overall character inventory management is so tedious that you have to have mule characters and log in and log out to gain more space on different characters. I have my extracted tab that actually has items in it that I haven't even pulled out yet from back when I was farming the Dark Zone. I haven't even built the builds that I wanted to use them for. I'm using every single ounce of space that my entire account can take advantage of, and it was still tedious. And some people may call me a hoarder, they may call me a pack rat, but I think that, the diversity in this game, the ability to build different things is the benefit, it is the draw for me. And that becoming tedious is a very, very bad sign. For a player like myself, that is nearly spelling the end. Now, let's talk about some of the solutions to this. One of my proposed solutions, I feel like is the best fix, but there's definitely some other brainstorming ideas out there, so I would love to hear your feedback. Number 1, I am not suggesting that we eliminate the ability for players to acquire the gear that they want, only that we get rid of the bad gear and the overabundance of gear. What this means is that similar to the existing incursion system, where you can go in and complete that mission on whatever difficulty and receive a specific reward in a slot, for instance, a backpack or a mask or knee pads, that there be some kind of bounty board existing in the game. And what this would offer is, a non-limited, a requeuable, unlimited amount of bounty missions, for instance, that say complete any story mode mission on heroic and get a mask. It wouldn't be a specific gear set. I think that's a little bit too linear. That makes it a little bit too easy. But it would be a way to target a specific gear component. If you really need gloves, let's say striker gloves, you could re-queue this mission over and over, but it would also offer the ability to play different main story missions and then get those gloves. You wouldn't be penned into playing Lexington over and over and over and over, which we've already had to do so many times. You would be able to play different story mode missions, try out the other ones that exist on whatever difficulty they're offered, and then get those striker gloves from completing it. This would give a little bit of replay value. It would bring people back to existing PvE areas that they maybe haven't played in a long time, and probably offer a lot more enjoyment for a lot of players while eliminating all the trash drops that you would get from going for that frequency farming where you're getting as many possible items per hour, and it's, beyond tedious and clunky and hard to manage. But you're getting items that very well could be what you want, or at least have a greater chance of being what you want without it being too easy. Another thing I want to cover and make sure that people know is I am not saying that we should down-tune the amount of exotic drops, the amount of exotic caches, etc. I think the exotics are the only item in the game right now, the only set of items that are in a good spot in terms of the frequency of being lootable. You can, participate in multiple different activities. You can get them from incursions. You can get them from weekly caches. You can get them, as a low drop chance out of a variety of other caches. You can also get them from legendary missions. So you can complete a variety of activities to get a chance at the exotic that you want, but also guarantee yourself one exotic at least from completing that activity. That is very, very good. And we need to target that style of gameplay, that, that way to customize what you're getting with the rest of the game. We really desperately as well need a gear score increase in tandem with this. We cannot simply change the way to acquire gear. It's already so overabundant. Most people are oversaturated with gear, and it's all stuff that is just, you have to sort through, and it's all mucky. It's horrible. But if we have a gear score increase in tandem with reducing the amount of gear that you get so you feel more accomplished when you do get gear, but also making that gear that you do get more likely to be gear that's going to be an upgrade for you, or something that you really want that will complete a 4-piece gear set, or complete the set that you're going for, or the hybrid build, or whatever, then we will see a drastic increase in the amount of players that are participating in PvP, in PvE, and enjoying PvE, respectively. I think that this is very necessary for the longevity of the game, both a gear score increase and a reduction in the amount of crap gear that we're getting, as well as a more targeted approach to what gear we can get. And it's something that would be really, really important for the developers to listen to. So anybody that wants to contribute to this discussion, give me your feedback on different systems like the incursion system, a targeted piece of gear, a bounty board, etc. Let me know in the comments below. I'll try to respond to as much feedback as possible. I'll try to get the discussion flowing as healthily as possible. And again, please think about the things I've said before leaving really hateful feedback about how you really want gear and I'm being elitist, because I'm really trying not to be. I care deeply about this game and I want it to function and thrive. And I don't like to see as many players leaving for as many reasons as they are right now, though they are justified. So I'm trying my best to put out a discussion topic and see what we can spur in the community from it. So thank you guys for listening very much. As always, check out the links below if you want to support the channel. There's various ways to get integrated with Upper Echelon. And as always, have a nice night.